Hi, this is Congressman Guy Reschenthaler, and you're listening to Get Going with Guy, a conservative's guide to cutting through the propaganda of the woke left and the mainstream media, a podcast where hypocrisy has no home. All right, gang, you know the drill, bluff, bottom line up front. Here's the bottom line. Joe Biden and Democrats want to use your hard-earned taxpayer dollars to fund abortions by eliminating the Hyde Amendment. So let me just contextualize this for you. In the 2022 budget, the Democrats do not include the Hyde Amendment. In fact, their appropriation bills leave out abortion funding restrictions. And this is why the Democrats, like I said, want to use your money to fund abortion. So let's just back up, because you're going to hear a lot about the Hyde Amendment, and a lot of people don't know what the Hyde Amendment is because, frankly, it's pretty old. So this amendment, this Hyde Amendment, goes back about 45 years. And what it does is it restricts taxpayer dollars to go to funding abortions. It's been typically bipartisan. It certainly started out as a bipartisan measure. And by some estimates, it has saved almost 2.5 million lives. Now, the Hyde Amendment, you're going to hear it being talked about by the mainstream media, and they're going to try to portray it as something that's being pushed by the far right. That is absolute nonsense, and that's the mainstream media gaslighting you. And I can say that because I've got the stats, I got the polling data. About 60% of Americans support the Hyde Amendment. And if you think, well, that's just Republicans, no, that's not true. It's just not Republicans. 65% of independents support the Hyde Amendment. This is something that's incredibly popular, completely mainstream. Yet the Democrat hyper-partisan base of their party supports it. 36% of Americans oppose the Hyde Amendment. The rest of America, and that is the radical base of the Democrat Party, that 36%. The rest of Americans overwhelmingly support the Hyde Amendment. Now, my personal views on this, I believe that life begins at conception and ends at natural death. That's my personal belief, and a lot of Republicans feel that way, including my very good friend from New Jersey, Chris Smith. And Chris Smith is working to introduce what's called H.R. 18. What this is the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act. And what this does is it makes the Hyde Amendment permanent. It also makes it government-wide. So we are going to continue to push back on the far left radical Democrats, and we're going to push for the Hyde Amendment to be adopted, and we're certainly going to push for Chris Smith's bill to make sure that the Hyde Amendment is made permanent and that it is viewed, that it's applicable government-wide. So that's it for today, gang. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time, and as always, just call me Guy.